So I'm still on stage 8 and it's all about fingerstyle. If you haven't joined me before, welcome. This channel is all about where I document my journey from a beginner guitarist and onwards. So if you'd like to join me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I release videos every week. This week's been one of those up and down weeks. I've been practicing the 5th string power chords, and last week they were sounding pretty good, but for some reason this week they're really not quite as good. I don't know what it is. I think it's trying to get my finger in position. Like last week it seemed easier, and then practicing this week it just doesn't. So I find that a lot with this kind of learning guitar thing. It's all about that consistency. I'm practicing consistently, but in terms of hitting the notes and getting them right every time, doesn't seem to happen. It's a bit like golf. If you ever played golf, that's like the worst game in the world for it. It's the most frustrating thing. One day you can have a really good game, and the other day it's an absolute blowout. So I'm kind of used to that because I've played that before, but it's not quite as bad as that. But it just feels like in these early stages of learning guitar that you have a lot of ups and downs and like regression, and then you make some improvements somewhere else, and then it kind of comes up, and it's always kind of, these levels are always going up and down as you're trying to kind of iron them out and get better at each of them along the way. But that's part of it, and it's a bit frustrating, but I've been working on obviously other parts this week, and those parts have really been I've done a bit of the chunker 12 bar blues. I think you saw me do that last week where I got it slightly wrong, but I've been practicing that, and the main focus this kind of week has been fingerstyle. So I've been learning a few different songs in fingerstyle. So the first one that I've kind of been practicing is Hey There Delilah by the White Tees. So I really enjoyed that song. It's a great little one, to be honest. If I could sing it, it'd probably be even better. Mate, when it comes to singing, you're about as useful as a hunchback at a limbo contest. Can always count on you, mate, thanks. What I was trying to say is that when I get later down the line and I'm trying to play licks and do improvising, then about as useful as a solar powered torch. Then I think this would help fill the void of not being able to sing, because you'll be able to play different types of licks. As an inflatable dartboard. Are you just reading those off Google? No, it's all in my head. About as useful as a one-legged man in an arse-kicking contest. Yeah, right, okay. Let's move on. So the other song that I've been trying to learn is House of the Rising Sun. This is one that one of my subscribers mentioned, Will Nixon, so thanks for that. I've been trying to practice that this week. As I said before, this is fingerpicking week. I thought I'd practice it in the finger style, because there's all sorts of ways you can do it. I know there's a strum, obviously, there's the finger pick, and then there's a raked pick. So this one's going to be the finger picking. I've just started it. Let's give it a go now. So I've also been working on part of the Tracy Chapman Fast Car song. It's only a tiny part of it, but for some reason my little finger, my pinky finger, just doesn't want to reach. I'll show you what I mean. So you play the first part. And when you get to you go 3 times round, I think it's on the 3rd time, you're supposed to stretch your pinky finger out like that and play this one, so it just goes. Anyway, so that's been really hard just to get it to sound that good. In general, I can use my little finger to play a few notes here and there. It's not too bad, but on that stretch where I'm on the 9th and 10th fret and then I'm stretching my little finger to the 12th, it's a real struggle, but you know, that's part of it. But I thought I'd try and practice that week because I want to try and kind of get a good grip on that kind of song overall, because there's part of it that's got to be strummed as well, and I haven't really worked on that, so that's something else I've got to focus on. So these later stages, I've been finding that you need to consolidate. You need to really hone down on your skills every week after you've sort of played through them and you're practicing. It's going to take me another 2 weeks, I reckon, on this stage at least to get feeling comfortable with it. And then really, once I've completed the beginner course, which I think there's one more stage after this, then I'll go into a phase of kind of consolidating everything that I've learned all together, maybe some more songs before I look to move on to another course. So that's the kind of way I'm looking at it. But this week, obviously I've been practicing all the finger style, but on next week I'm going to focus in on the blues style, and that's something I've been really enjoying about this course, is exploring genres of music that I've always had a little bit of interest but never really explored enough. So obviously I'm going to try and learn the Buddy Holly song next week, which is a run through on stage 8, and you can play along with Justin, and it helps you obviously build the chunka 12 bar blues. But in terms of a genre of music, the more I listen to it, the more actually I'm interested in this sort of going down that path later on down the line, because I know Justin has an intermediate course, and then after that, or at the same time as that, he recommends probably doing the blues course if you're interested in doing that, and that is something I think I'd probably look at, because some of the music I've been listening to lately I've been really getting into actually. So things like Lightning Hopkins, John Lee Hooker, Mississippi John Hurt, and a whole host of other kind of blues players, and obviously Clapton, there's some influences for Clapton there as well. So I'm really enjoying listening to these genres of music and exploring them, and I think that's a great part of this, because that just builds the enthusiasm and the passion for playing the instrument, and I absolutely love it. So one thing that's been developing on the side as I've been playing acoustic guitar and these different genres of music is, one, I've learned that I'm very interested in learning some more blues music, and 2, I want to buy an electric guitar. I don't know what you guys play. Let me know in the comments below whether it's an acoustic or an electric that you're learning on, or maybe you have both. I don't know. But when I start listening to the blues, and I'm watching a lot of the Anderton TV on YouTube. If you haven't watched it, check it out. They've got they're gearheads and guys with lots of experience, and it's well worth listening to them. They interview a lot of experienced guitarists, and you get some good insights and some good chat and a bit of banter on there, so it's worth checking out. But anyway, I've been listening to a lot of that, and it's just got me more interested in buying an electric guitar. I'm not going to do it yet. I've got a lot to learn on the acoustic, and I enjoy playing an acoustic, but I certainly see me going down that line once I've got some more experience under my belt. Anyway guys, that's it for this week. If you haven't subscribed to me already, do so, hit the notification bell, and I release videos every week. Okay, until the next one, cheers.